Oh, okay.
I'm glad I got the seed taker out the way.
You know, when they talk about picking up potatoes and the fun that it is, the easy it is, what they really don't understand, what they don't tell you, what they don't warn you about is that feeling you get when you stick your finger inside the seed potato. You might as well stuck your finger in a great big
slime bomb.
Yeah, a big booger. What they really don't warn you about is the feeling that you get deep down in your soul whenever you stick your finger into a seed tater. Those things are gelatinous.
What the fuck is that?
The tater that you put into the ground that starts all the others, it basically turns into, well, it starts decomposing. It turns into slime. You stick your finger in there, it's just like, ugh. Like I said, though, next year I think we're just going to do them in grow bags instead of taking up an entire bed with them and see how that does. Because I think the soil just compresses way too much. And it will also stop me from overplanting. In order for me to find this productive, we have to beat, 9 pounds of potatoes? Because I got 1 pound from that store and I bought 7 pounds from Tractor Supply. Whoa! This one was right here on the surface, too.
Some of the biggest ones just sitting right on the surface.
It's probably because I didn't have to compete with the soil being compacted. Sorry, worm. My bad. Here.
Well,
over here where
I do that shit to him.
Go over here where I loosened it up for you. My bad. Like I said, some of these, I think I just put them way too close together. And apparently I didn't decompact all the soil before I did it either. Which is another reason why I think these probably would do better in grow bags instead of our clay. Whoa, found a potato I was not expecting right there. I will say the soil does look healthier than it did the first year. It was so compacted, there were no damn worms, nothing. The fact that there are worms all in this soil makes me happy.
Damn.
Dude! That one potato in the corner did better than most of the potatoes on this side. Ah! Seed potato.
Ew.
Uh-oh. Ew, seed potato. Let's take a pause, run to town, grab your drinks, grab some soil, and come back and we can call this quits after we get done with that. All I gotta do is mix it in and put some fertilizer into it. Maybe throw some boxes on top of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Today is now June 4th. We finally have our sweet potatoes, and they have been, they're a little bit wet from the dew, but they have been sitting out here and getting ready after their trip through the mail because I decided to order me some different types. I'll have Editing Liz actually put the name, Verdant, I think. And the reason we have got the Verdant is because it is a bush style instead of a vining style. One more okra that needs to go into the ground. This particular okra was brought in whenever we were having all of our storms. I brought in all of the okra and stuff because it wasn't ready to go into the ground yet. And this one got squished. There's actually a nodule right here from where this one got pinched in half. And I did not think that this was going to survive. But it has survived, and it's greener than the rest of my okra. It looks healthier than the rest of my okra. So I'm going to go ahead and plant it and just see if it survives. So let's get on planting. First things first, I need to find my shovel though. I'm trying really hard to not get myself exceptionally dirty. I've got a live stream later on. Okay, just as a quick look around the garden so you guys can get the orientation on where we're putting those sweet potatoes. This is my first bed. I've moved one of my roselles up to the first bed because they're going to get rather big. And this is the left-handed side. Over here we have our driver's side. This is the bed where the potatoes were, and now we're going to put sweet potatoes in. Okay, as I explained before, let me go ahead and go drop this one in the ground where it goes, because it's not going in this bed. I do not know if that okra will actually survive being outside, though I have stabilized it. I stabilized it with a fan on it while it was growing, so hopefully that worked. Now, let's count these out and find out how many I've got and how many plants I can get away with. 27, 28, 29, and 30. Okay, so I have 30 plants. I try to keep them on the tape now that we actually have the tape here. And start in the center and work our way out. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. $16, $18. Okay, that's plenty of spots right there. Now, I think you can do 1 plant per foot, and I think I probably have like, I don't know, maybe 1.5 plants per foot in here. We're going to put fertilizer inside each hole just to help each plant get up and going. But after this, these guys should not need feeding. They are a low feeder, which is the reason why I choose to do sweet potatoes after potatoes. I have also found that this is a good way to break up the soil in these beds. There we go. That should be plenty of fertilizer for these guys. Now, I fully expect, even after these guys have recovered from their shipping here, I fully expect these guys to look pitiful for a couple of days. But we do have storms that are coming in, so they'll get plenty of water. And I'm just going to bury them a little bit deep because they will develop roots, mainly so we can settle the roots, get some of the air pockets out just a little bit, and start the decomposition on the fertilizer that we put in here. And like I said, these guys are going to look pitiful for a couple of days, but they should bounce back relatively quick because we've got some nice warm days. We've also got some rain coming in, so these guys should really take off, assuming, you know, I didn't accidentally get too much wood down in the soil, which I probably did. Thankfully, these guys don't need a whole lot of nitrogen. They do need some, obviously, but they don't need a ton. Okay, now that's all of the replantings that I have done so far this year. On my secondary planting, I do have dirty hands, secondary planting for bed number 6. On bed number 6, we now have our okra instead of our red onions. I went ahead and pulled those. They weren't looking so great. It was time to get these guys in the ground, so these guys are in. This bed, which has my garlic in it, I have already pulled all the garlic. It was looking rather pitiful. I have put in one of my roselles from one of the back beds to give this guy a little bit more room. And then I have my jicama planted here. I'm not sure how these guys are going to do. I've got a chicken starting her egg song. It's about that time. I have my jicama planted here and nothing else in the bed yet. And so far, we are on onion watch number 2. These guys are going to be big. I've got a couple that are starting to flop over, so it's about time for this bed. And then the second planting will happen here. It will either be more squash, which it's already too late for squash, and it's too late for my cucumbers as it is. Our cucumber worm is already out, so I don't think I'll be planting cucumbers. I think I'll probably do squash and attempt to try and keep it alive. I don't know. It's either that or I'll do some Seminole pumpkins, just plant them straight in the ground because I don't have any more starts after these guys come out. So it'll either be black-eyed peas or that. And of course, this bed is where I pulled my rosella out. I have already got these guys. They're pretty spaced out. That one could go over a little bit, but I'm not going to disturb it for like a few inches. There's no sense in it. I'm just going to feed them and keep going with it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. We have finally got our bed reset and a few other beds reset for their second planting of the year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's no way I'm going to be able to outcompete the roosters that are currently sticking each other with their crows. Thank you guys so much for coming along with me while we transplanted from potatoes to sweet potatoes. I will see you guys in our next video. You have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and you stay shiny. Bye.